A system of equations includes two equations, one which is graphed below. The other equation is y equal 1/5 x minus 2. State the solution of this system as coordinate pair x, y. So we have, in this case, two equations. And the first equation is y equal 1/5 x minus 2. And the second equation here in the graph. How to reach to this? First, we need to find this point, which is the intersection between the red line and the y coordinate. And we call this point as y intercept. And the x for this point is equal 0. So as we see here, like x equals 0 and y equal 1. Here is 1. So the point is actually x and y. As we see, x equals 0 and y equal 1. So this point is 0 and 1. To reach to the equation, it is very simple, using the form y equal mx plus b. And the note that you suppose as a student know is m represent the slope and b represent the y intercept. And from the introduction, we can see the y-intercept is equal to 1. So in this case, y is equal to mx plus 1. And then the slope, to reach to the slope, we can use the rise and run like this. So I can start from this point, going down as rise, and here is 2 unit down, which is represent -2 as rise. Then I can keep going as run, and it seems like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the slope is exactly the rise over run x. And this will be y equal to rise, which is -2 or -2, divided by 5x plus 1. And in this case, y is equal -2/5 x plus 1. And this is exactly the second equation that represent the graph that show in this picture. So in this case, we have two equations actually. The first equation, which is y equal 1/5 x minus 2. And the second equation is y is equal -2/5 x plus 1. And going back to the question is asking for state the solution of a system as coordinate x and y. To find this solution, we can use the two equations as follows. So as y equal 1/5 x minus 2 and y equal -2/5 x plus 1, we can say that 1/5 x minus 2 is equal to -2/5 fifth x plus 1. We can move the negative or the minus 2/5 x to from side 2 in this side to side 1 by adding the opposite of minus 2/5 as follows. We will reach to 1/5 x plus, of course we need here to add 2/5 x, so here is plus 2/5 x minus 2 equal 1 or positive 1. Now we can add 1/5 plus 2/5, and because the denominator is the same, so we just add the numerator. So 1 plus 2, which is equal to 3 divided by 5, or 3/5 x minus 2 equal to 1 or plus 1. Now we can move the 2 to the other side from side 1 to side 2 by adding the opposite of negative 2 or minus 2, which is plus 2. And we will left with 3/5 x equal to 1 plus 2, which is equal to 3 over 1. Now we left with 3/5 x equal to 3 over 1. In this case, we can deal with 3 times x divided by 5 equal to 3 divided by 1. Here we can multiply like this, like 1 times 3x, which is equal to 3x, equal to 5 times 3, which is 15. We can divide by 3 and divide by 3. In this case, we can cancel a 3 with a 3. So we left with x, 15 divided by 3, or 15 over 3, which is equal to 5. But as we know that the solution as point x and y, and we can see this clear if we look at the question, because the question is asking as a coordinate x, y. We know now the value of x is equal to 5. What's about the y? To find the value of y, we can use the two equations, or we can use one of them at least to find the value of y. We will take this equation, which is y equal 1/5 x minus 2. So the y is equal 1/5 x minus 2. Now we substitute 5 for x. Here is 5, and y is equal 1/5 x minus 2, which is equal 1/5 multiplied by 5 minus 2. 5 cancel with a 5, and we left with 1 minus 2, which is equal minus 1. So y is equal minus 1, but remember that x is equal to 5. So x equal 5 and y equal minus 1. And the point is x, y again, so x 5. So we substitute for x as 5, and we substitute for y as negative 1. So the point will be 5 and negative 1. If we go back to the question, so we can move the point from the solution part to the question here. So we add it like this, like 5, and then subtract or negative 1. And if we check the answer, we can see that the answer is true.